College football is changing every single day, and so is the postseason format. When we started out as a wee little sport, we crowned champions based off of AP poll voters and other different polls. I think there were 4 different ways to crown a national champion back in the 60s and 70s before you actually got to the BCS era in 1970 or 1998, excuse me. Once we got to 1998, we went to the BCS era, which a computer then decided who the 2 best teams were, and they would face off in the BCS National Championship game. We did that from 1998 to 2014, in which we finally instituted the college football playoff. This iteration had 4 teams, and it was the best 4 teams, whatever that was decided by a subjective committee. There were really no other objective measurements that you could go to other than whatever the committee decided was important that given year. After about a decade of doing that, we decided, let's go to 12. We skipped 6, we skipped 8, much to the chagrin of a lot of college football fans. We went right to 12. And last year, I would say we had a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed watching those games. There's a little bit of a slight change this year. We're still sticking to 12, but the way that the teams are seeded is a little bit different. However, this entire offseason was dominated by talks of expanding the playoffs yet again. 16 was thrown out there. 24, 26, 28, 32. Heck, if you want to go to Mike Leach, rest in peace. We love you. Let's talk about 64. We're not going to go quite that far. I'm going to stick to 24. What would a 24-team playoff look like in college football 26? So we're going to simulate the 2025 season, and then from there, I will set up a 24-team playoff, and we will simulate it and see who comes out on top. So let's go get the top 24 teams in the 2025 season. So we got the weirdest simulation I think I have ever seen in college football 26. When you just look at the top 12 teams without any other context, this is insane. Penn State, Duke, Miami, BYU, USC, Vanderbilt, Oregon, Indiana, UCLA. UCLA is 0-3 already in real life, yet they are somehow 9-3 in the top 10. Iowa State, Clemson, Alabama, Baylor, USF, Navy, Illinois, South Carolina, Florida, Colorado, James Madison, Washington, SMU, Texas A&M, and Ohio State are your top 24 teams. The reason why there is so much love for an expansion of the playoff is for teams like USF, for teams like Navy, for teams like James Madison. All 3 of them get in rather than just one in the current 12-team playoff. You can be the decider of whether or not that is the way things should be, but that is how it is in a 24-team playoff. So also to note in 24-team playoffs, the top 8 teams get a bye. We are not doing any sort of seeding differences for conference champions or whatnot. Just the top 8 teams are getting a bye. So Penn State, Duke, Miami, BYU, USC, Vanderbilt, Oregon, Indiana, UCLA, not UCLA, we stop at Indiana. Those 8 teams all get a bye to the second round. Now, it's time to take a look at what our first round matchups are going to be. So we have South Carolina at Illinois. We are playing both the first and second rounds on campus, by the way. Ohio State at UCLA. Washington at Alabama. James Madison at Baylor. Colorado at USF. Colorado at USF. SMU at Clemson. Texas A&M at Iowa State. Florida traveling to Annapolis to take on Navy. That is a cool one. The winner of South Carolina, Illinois will take on Penn State. The winner of UCLA, Ohio State will take on Indiana. The winner of Washington, Alabama will take on USC. The winner of Baylor, James Madison will take on BYU. The winner of Colorado, USF will take on Miami. The winner of Clemson, SMU will take on Vanderbilt. The winner of Texas A&M, Iowa State will take on Oregon. And then the winner of Navy, Florida will take on 2-seed Duke. This is just an insane bracket. I cannot fathom what is going to happen. If I had to guess right now, that top of the bracket is super tough. I think that Oregon probably comes out of this on the bottom side as the 7 seed. Just it lines up too perfectly for them, in my opinion. I just think they're too good of a football team. Then in the top half of the bracket, I'm thinking, oh, this is so tough because there's so many good teams over here. When you talk about Penn State, Ohio State, USC, Alabama, even South Carolina in this game is really good. I think I'm going to lean Penn State just because I feel like they sim really well in this game. And it could be a rematch of Penn State-Oregon in the national championship game. But that's going to be my guess for what happens. Obviously, we got to go and figure this thing out. So let's do exactly that. We've got our first game of the 24-team playoff. South Carolina making the trip up to Champaign, Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini. Our 17 versus our 16 with a trip to Happy Valley on the line. It doesn't get any bigger than this. I have a feeling this one is going to be a good one. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We picked this thing up. It's 12-7. South Carolina is driving. We got 3:30 left in the fourth quarter, and 3rd and 2 is picked up by Rasul Faison, and they kind of need to get in that hurry-up offense. Norris Sellers has got plenty of time. He's just going to dump this off to his running back, and he's going to pick up the first down. Sellers with 109 yards through the air today. That's not going to cut it if you're trying to beat a team on the road in the college football playoff. This is the expanded playoff, folks. These teams aren't necessarily the best, and this is what happens when you do expand the playoffs. You're going to get maybe some more competitive first-round games, but they're going to end up in a score like 12-7. We got a little jet sweep, and he's got some room. He's going to run right into the defender, though. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. First play after the 2-minute. We're going to get some motion here. That's Nick Harbor. They're going to throw it out to him. He's got room. Oh, if he stayed in bounds, he could have been dancing in the end zone with his speed. But they do pick up the first down. And we're just slowly ticking away the clock here. He was able to get out of bounds. Got 1:57 left in this game. What does Lenora Sellers have in store? Can he be the hero that South Carolina needs? Oh, he's going to fire that one downfield, but it's broken up. Great play by the Illinois defense, man. This is getting a little tense in here, eh? 2nd and 10 now for the Gamecock offense. Sellers, what do you got for me? He's going to throw that one out to his receiver, and we're going to get 3rd and short. That is an interesting timeout call, a little earlier than I probably would have taken it. Faison offset to the left here. They're going to go in motion. They're going to hand this ball off. Faison's got some room outside, and he's going to cross the 30. They're not going to call a timeout here. Obviously, clock stops until the ball gets reset. So they have some time to get to the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're just taking their sweet time. Sellers going to drop back, and he's going to fire this one deep. He's got a man! That is a South Carolina touchdown. Are you kidding me? Literally nothing in the first half. Got absolutely 0 points. Lenora Sellers has 109 yards up until this drive. And he's going to fire that one in there. His wide receiver beats the press coverage. And we've got a new leader in this ball game. South Carolina is probably going to go for 2 here to make this a 15-12 game if they're able to convert. Illinois' turn now. They've got all 3 timeouts. 1:28 left. They're just going to hand this ball off to the running back. Not sure what we're doing that for. We got to have some urgency here, folks. What are we doing? What are we doing? We can't let the clock run. Illinois. Hello. Do you understand what is at stake here? Oh my God, the clock management in this game from the CPU is ridiculous. He picks up the first down. Now they call their timeout. Brett Bielema's got to get fired after this, right? You can't. Your offense gets 3 or 4 field goals. You have awful mismanagement of the clock late in the game. Altmaier, he misses his tight end. Oh, this is not good, man. Oh, he's going to get sacked. Altmaier gets sacked, and I think that's going to about do it. Dylan Stewart getting home to the quarterback. You really got one more shot here. I think if you don't pick it up or at least get half the yardage here on 3rd down, you are definitely not picking up a 4th and 15. And he's going to get hit again. And that pass is caught. It looked like it might have been incomplete, but looks like they're going to count it anyway. 4th and 9. They did pick up about half. So Maybe. Oh, they're going to call that timeout for Illinois. Oh, that's a bad beat right there. South Carolina guy got hurt too, and we're going to launch this one down the field. That ball is incomplete. South Carolina is going to win the football game. Wow, South Carolina gets to travel to Penn State. That is an unbelievable finish for game one. We're going to the Rose Bowl. We will be back here shortly in a couple of games when we get down to the second and third rounds. Excuse me, the third rounds of this thing. But this is going to be a bloodbath. I have no confidence in UCLA's ability to beat Ohio State in this game. I mean, yes, it is 24-9. I am not sure how UCLA was able to get the 9 seed. We're going to find out what kind of fight they got, though, here in a second. We've got 2:24 left. UCLA is up 27-19. All they need to do is pick up 2 or 3 first downs to win this ball game. Ohio State's got all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. That run right there is going to help UCLA out a lot. Ohio State smart calling their timeouts. This game has been all over the place, but somehow, some way, UCLA is on top. They're going to hand the ball off again. He's got to roll. He's going to break a tackle. That's 3rd and inches. Oh, this is going to be a massive play here. We're going big on big. You got your hog mollies in the trenches. What can they do? Nico's going to sneak, and they're going to pick it up. UCLA is going to win this game. I know it's technically not an upset, but to me it is. These two teams are vastly different in terms of their overall ratings, and I am just so surprised that UCLA simulates as well as they do to get to this point. I got to pick up one more first down. A little bit ahead of myself, but I think they're going to do it anyway. Nico's going to pass the ball here, and there's the first down. This game is over. They'll take the knee, and UCLA marches on. They have a date with Indiana in the next round, another Big Ten showdown for them. You know, the storylines in this one are too good to be true, yet they are. Kalen DeBoer hosting his old team that he took to the national championship game just a couple years ago. He's got Alabama back in the playoff, and he didn't really need expansion this time. Alabama was a top 10 team this season. They're hosting, top 12, I believe. They were right on that 12 line. They're hosting number 21 Washington in a game that should be much better than I think you would anticipate. Let's get into the action. Okay, so I lied to you. This has not been exactly the closest game. It was close at one point. It was 21-17 or 21-18 in the fourth quarter. Then Alabama scored 10 unanswered with just 2 minutes left. It's going to be tough for the Huskies to get back into this one. Damon Williams is having a little bit of a rough game. That pass right there will maybe spark something, a late comeback. You're going to have to get to the line a little quicker than you are right now, though, if you want to have any shot at actually winning this ball game. Minute 30 left in this one, and Williams is going to scan downfield. He looks like he's going to try to run. He's going to dump it off instead. They do pick up the first down, so that'll stop the clock for a little bit. They only have the one timeout, so they've got to move quickly because they have to get this onside kick if they do end up scoring. There is no dilly-dallying around here. You got to go. They finally get to the line of scrimmage, and Alabama smartly playing off coverage, just protecting the sticks, playing deep. Washington will take the underneath stuff, but if you tackle them inbounds, you're in a really good spot because it doesn't look like they're going no huddle. I mean, this is just malpractice right now. Okay, we got 2nd and 10, 42 seconds left. Williams, throw it to him. He's there. Coleman. Oh, he got knocked out of bounds. Yeah, clock stops. I mean, that's exactly where the ball needed to go there. Got it out quickly. It's just a matter of can they now find the end zone. Unfortunately, Coleman just wasn't able to get to the pylon. Great tackling and pursuit by that Alabama defense. You need to score on the first play. The onside, because you need, in order to get the onside kick. Right there! He's there! DeMond! No! Oh, that'll do it. There was a glimmer of hope there that maybe, just maybe, they'd be able to pull it out, but you just can't not throw it to the sit route right there, and just nobody blocked either. That doesn't help. They're taking this sweet time getting in the line. Does the CPU not have a no huddle option. I mean, this is ridiculous. And he's going to throw a pick on the last play of the game. Alabama is moving on to play USC in round number 2. This is such a weird game. I love it. Baylor hosting James Madison in the college football playoff. Listen, we don't get this game if it's not a 24-team playoff. This is 13-20. This is the only way this type of game happens, and that's why I love it. Trip to Provo on the line to take on BYU. This one is probably going to be the best best matchup of the first round. We've got ourselves a 17-17 ball game with 1:28 in the fourth quarter. James Madison just drove down the field and scored. Now it's up to Sawyer Robertson in the Baylor offense. And that is how you start. Oh, no, he dropped it. Oh, thought he had it. They were going for the kill shot right away. They've got all 3 timeouts, but now you kind of get in that weird spot of if you don't get to field goal range and kick the field goal but don't waste enough time, maybe James Madison could have a shot. And you're at your own 18-yard line. They might get the ball in a pretty good situation. Sawyer Robertson, that's a drop again. Oh, man. This Baylor offense scored immediately on their first drive, but it's been stagnant ever since. The wide receivers clearly are not helping the cause. This is an interesting situation. Do you run the ball, kill some clock, force JMU to use a timeout, or do you just go for it? Looks like they're going to go for it. 5 wide. Yeah, play to win the ball game, eh? They're going to motion running back into the backfield, then motion him back out. Going to bring out a little heat. And why are we throwing it that short of the sticks? He almost picks up the first down, gets to within maybe 6 inches of the first down marker. And they're going to have to punt the ball back to JMU. And JMU's probably going to have pretty good field position. They might actually be able to steal this game. This would be a crazy, crazy upset. You're going to rely on Matthew Sluka to throw the ball around. I don't know if you're in a great spot if you're JMU. And he's going to actually keep it on the read option and get rocked. Oh, Sluka's going to load up. Oh, my God, he caught it. Oh, my God. No way. James Madison is about to steal this win. What a throw from Sluka. Holy crap. I cannot believe what we just saw. Now Baylor's like, oh, we got to call some timeouts. Oh, I told you guys that this was going to be the best one. You didn't believe me. I don't know what you were doing. Just hand the ball off. No, he's going to keep it. Sluka's got room. He picks up the first down, and they've got an easy chip shot field goal. They're just going to take the field goal now. They're going to kick the ball back to Baylor. Baylor's going to have a shot, I guess. They're going to have a chance. This is a little scary. It's going to be a little bit tougher in the next round. They're going to have to travel across the country to Provo, Utah, to take on BYU. That one is not going to be quite as easy, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to make that throw, if you're Baylor, why even show up to the game? Okay, let's go to the next game. This one is over. JMU pulling off the upset. One of the more interesting first-round matchups. Stylistically, these two teams are relatively similar. Colorado traveling to South Florida to take on the USF Bulls in Raymond James Stadium. You can see the pirate ship in the background. This one is going to be a good one. The winner of this game travels to Miami. Can we get a USF Miami rematch? That would be electric factory. Let's get into this. 23-21. Colorado just put the ball in the end zone. The Bulls have one shot left. Can Byron Brown be the hero that Tampa, Florida needs and deserves? But they need a hero. And I think Byron Brown is that guy. Will they use the clock in a smart manner, though? That's the real question. And they're going to run the ball. I mean, what are we doing? You cannot do that. You just cannot do that. And they're going to let 15 seconds roll off the clock before they get back up to the line of scrimmage. This is infuriating, watching these CPU teams not know how to manage the clock or not be programmed to manage the clock. There has to be some sort of fix from EA. They're going to run it again, and they're going to get stuffed. Oh, this is embarrassing. Now they're going to throw it, and Brown is going to take his sweet time. He's got a guy open. He's going to run for it. He's going to pick it up. They don't deserve to win this game. I hope they – honestly, I want USF to win, but I hope they don't. They don't deserve it. A minute's off the clock, and they've gone 10 yards. No way. No way you guys are running it again. What is this play calling? You have to throw the ball here. Okay, they will. They're going to throw it short. He's not going to get to the first down. Call timeout. Oh, boy. Is that something that they are aware of? Because what is going on? Oh, my God. What a run. Can we go? No huddle. There's got to be a no huddle. There has to be. There has to be a no huddle option. This is so frustrating to watch. Oh, they don't have any timeouts. Oh, he's going to throw it short. He's going to get tackled. No, okay. Incomplete pass was the best thing that could have happened to them there. So you have to throw this thing past the first down marker. Put the field goal unit out there because otherwise this game is over. Oh, they're going to get it. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my Lord. Okay, go. Go. I don't like how this is going. I do not like how this is going right now. I think they can maybe get off one more play before they have to bring the field goal unit out. Honestly, they need an incomplete pass here. And it's picked off. Are you serious? Oh, my God. Colorado's going to win the football game. Oh, that was heartbreaking. I'm not sure what Byron Brown was trying to do there, but whatever it was not the right move. Oh, man. Well, heartbreak is going to happen in the college football playoff, especially when you got 24 teams. Let's go to the next game. We've got ourselves an ACC matchup here in round number 1. Got the drones in the sky. We're running down the hill. We're going to touch the gosh dang rock. Give me Dabo down the hill. Yeah. Show me Dabo running down the hill. Is he getting phased through? This is the first time I've ever actually watching Clemson run down the hill. That was wild to watch. SMU trying to play upset, trying to play spoiler, trying to do all the things, and a date with Vanderbilt is on the line. This one was wild. SMU had a 17-3 lead at one point. Then they had a turnover in their own territory. Everything kind of fell apart for them. Clemson drills this field goal to go up 24-20. SMU has got one last chance to pray to the football gods to pull off this upset. It was right there for the taking, and they just collapsed in the second half. Yeah, it's just one of those games where if you're an SMU fan, you hate football for the rest of your life. There's no coming back from it. It might be the worst thing to happen in SMU football program history. You got 10 seconds for the rest of your life. Kevin Jennings, what can you do for the greater Dallas area? That's not going to be it. That's just absolutely not going to be it. Okay, congratulations, Clemson, on the win. I hate watching the CPU late game management. It is atrocious. I want to gouge my eyes out every single time. They're literally just going to let the clock run. 2, 1, game over. Clemson gets to take on Vanderbilt in round number 2, traveling to Nashville. Don't get too drunk on Broadway. Texas A&M and Iowa State are squaring off in a former Big 12 clash. This one is a lot of fun, and we got a trip to Eugene being played for today. Round 1 of this college football 2014 playoff is looking pretty good so far. We've had a lot of games live up to the hype. Will this one be able to do so? We have number 23 versus number 10. Let's get into it. This one has been all Texas A&M, 34-10. It was the second half really that got away from this Iowa State offense. They are trying to score one more time before the end of the game, but it is way too far out of reach. We'll watch this last Cyclone possession, and then we'll go on to our our 8th and final first round matchup before we get into the real good stuff. Rocco Beck going to keep this one, and he's going to, oh no. Oh, this is just an encapsulation of what today has been for Iowa State. Oh boy, yikes. That game is over. Let's just get to the next matchup, Navy and Florida. This one is going to be interesting. Florida had to make the trip up north to take on the Navy midshipmen. I'm going to be honest, I think this might be the furthest North Florida has ever played a football game. I could be wrong about that, but that definitely is the vibes I'm getting from this one. Let's go to the fourth quarter and see what's going on. Florida came away with the victory in this one, 16-13. It was not that exciting coming to the finish. So when you try to get back into the game to actually watch it, you have to wait a single play first. But I wasn't paying attention to how many timeouts Navy had. And when I jumped in, it was way too late. You can't actually force a penalty in this game. You can't jump off sides. Super annoying. So I was trying to get the final kneel down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. 16-13 is your final. This was a very ugly game, a lot of field goals. We moved to the second round, but first let's take a look at what those second round matchups will be. Got a little bit of a new look now that I'm able to fit all of these teams onto one screen. That was kind of why the first one looked a little wonky, because I was only able to fit 16 teams on here. But now that we're here are our matchups the rest of the way. Penn State is hosting South Carolina. UCLA is traveling to Bloomington, Indiana. USC gets to host Alabama. That one is one I'm super excited for. JMU is traveling across the country to go play BYU in a game that I think will be a lot of fun. Miami, Colorado, two of the big brands that are all pomp and flash, trying to prove it on the field once and for all. Clemson going to Vanderbilt. You're never going to find something like that outside of the college football playoff, and expanding it gives you a greater chance at this type of matchup. A&M against Oregon, two of the biggest spenders in college football, or at least used to be big spender in A&M. And then Florida Duke in a game where we could have had Navy Duke, but instead the Gators are traveling to North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils, the 2 seed, may I remind you. So there's high expectations for Darian Mensah and that squad to get the job done. This one is going to be super fun. Penn State, South Carolina winner plays UCLA, Indiana winner. USC, Alabama will play JMU, BYU. Miami, Colorado will play one of Clemson, Vandy. Oregon, A&M will play one of Florida and Duke. And then on the other side, you will also find out what bowl games each team is playing in. We go to round 2, and we've got our first snow game. I decided that we're going to go random weather generator from here on out, and this gives us that good old Happy Valley snow. This is going to be a fun one. I don't know if South Carolina is quite ready for this. This game is looking a lot like overtime. We went back and forth, and it all led to 28 all, and it looks like South Carolina is content running this thing out. Maybe it's going to be a bad punt, and Penn State will have an opportunity to kick a field goal to win this ballgame. It's not a great punt. They have a timeout left. They're at the 47. You'll probably need to get to the 40 to feel comfortable in this kind of weather. We'll see what Aller can do. He's just going to dump it quick. Oh, he's got room. He gets out of bounds. They still keep their timeout. Okay, hold on a second. This one actually may not be over. Maybe I'm the dumb one for questioning how Penn State was using their timeouts. This is an all-time classic. They got down to the 26-yard line. They're easy field goal position. They're just going to run this ball. Go down. Don't use your time out there. Oh, my God. Is this good? I mean, he has to. It's right down the middle. They don't miss these. Yeah, he drills that one. Okay. I mean, that probably does it. I will see you in the next game unless something crazy happens. Penn State takes the W. They move on to round number 3 in a bowl game that is yet to be determined. Indiana, UCLA, we got ourselves another snow game. You gotta love it. We'll see if the boys from the West Coast can acclimate to the weather. The winner of this game will take on Penn State in a game that maybe let's not look ahead of ourselves, but that one's going to be a tough one to win. But you got to win this one first. Indiana is clearly the favorite coming into this one, having that by being rested, feeling in a good spot, having the home field advantage of the snow. Let's just go to the fourth quarter, see what's going on. Despite picking up the big win over Ohio State in round number 1, the West Coast boys could not handle the snow, getting absolutely throttled in this game. It really wasn't all that close. Halftime, I think the score was 10-7, but it really felt like Indiana dominated this one, and then they took that out in the second half. which means we've got a Indiana-Penn State round 3 game. That is the quarterfinals, I believe. We'll be down to 8 teams at that point. Nico did not have his best performance in this one. Unfortunate for UCLA. They really go as he goes, and he didn't play well. They didn't play well. The snow was a little too much of a factor for them. We'll see you in game number 3 of round number 2 for USC Alabama. This is a big one. When you talk about college football brands, when you talk about potential blue bloods, these are 2 schools that are mentioned every single time. This is Goliath on Goliath. It does not get any better than this. USC off the bye. Alabama off the dominant performance in round number 1. I don't know what's going to happen in this one, but it's going to be good. That is all I know. Okay, I may have lied about this one being a good one. Alabama has absolutely dominated this game. USC really didn't stand a chance. I mean, that punt was almost perfect. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was 38-17 at one point. Alabama got out to a 17-7 lead and just never looked back. USC kind of embarrassed themselves on their home turf. I really don't know what else to say. I thought for sure that this game was going to be a competitive one down to the wire. But at this point, it looks like Alabama is kind of just going to run through everybody. So this one is over. USC just one and done. First one to have that happen. We got JMU BYU next, so that's going to be a super fun one. But this one, yeah, it's over. We're cutting it after this play. That is just such an embarrassing play to finish this thing on. Oh, well. I'll see you in Provo. You can't help but feel like, God, that is beautiful every time it loads in. You can't help but feel like this is a volunteer match for who gets sent to slaughter against Alabama. Neither one of these teams overall-wise is on the same level as Alabama. If JMU somehow manages to win this game after already pulling a first-round upset, they will get dominated by Alabama, and it will be one of the least contested games we've ever seen. But hey, the Cinderella can Cinderella a little bit longer. They just got to do it in one of the toughest atmospheres in the country. It is not quite midnight yet on the James Madison Dukes, but man, is it close. We're probably sitting at 11:58 right now. Just need to get some stops, and that's not going to help. It was the first one. I don't know if I would have called a timeout there. You're saving 8 seconds. It is 2nd and inches, so it's arguably worse. Unless they get a massive negative play here, I think BYU's probably won this game. They're just going to hand the ball off. Actually, it's going to be a QB keep, and there's nobody over there. Doesn't slide, so could have fumbled it. Why are you... See, like, saving 2 seconds there is not that important. They just got a first down. Let it ride to the 2... whatever. I'm not even going to argue. At this point, you're splitting hairs, right? It doesn't matter when they use it. The game's over. Oh, what a broken tackle. JMU they were down 22-7 at one point in this game. Came all the way back. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. This thing is not yet over. If JMU can get one more stop, they might have a shot. They just need to get a TF, and it's over. Listen, there was a chance. There was a chance. LJ Martin went crazy. 17 for 146. Good God, man. Have yourself a day. BYU is the winner of who gets to get the shit beat out of them by Alabama. Congratulations, I guess. I highly doubt they'll be able to pull off the upset, but we'll wait and see. Let's go to the other side of the bracket now. This is going to be a fun one. Colorado traveling to Miami and Hard Rock Stadium, taking on the Hurricanes. We have the two, I would say, flashier brands of college football, if you will, especially in the new age of college football, battling it out on the gridiron. If you would talk to Dan Lanning, he would say, which one of these teams is going to play with substance and not with flash. They're going to do it to talking with their pads, not a camera, right? We'll see. I lean Miami in this game. I really do. Yeah, let's just say it was pretty smart of me to lean that way. Miami, 37-3 right now. Are you kidding me? This is an absolute beatdown. I mean, this is... Remember Oregon, Colorado from, was it 2 years ago at this point? That is exactly what's happening right now. Or was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago, right? I don't know. All I know is I'm getting old. Forgetting things. This is exactly what this was. Miami just pulverizing the absolute hell out of this Colorado team. Really stood no chance. I really think at this point we're looking at Alabama, Penn State, and Miami, Oregon in the semifinal round matchups. I mean, we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think you'd be silly not to think that those are the matchups that are coming our way. And they're still pouring it on, throwing the ball here. Oh my gosh. Mario, have some decency. Have some shame. Okay, I'll see you guys for this Clemson-Vandy game. We're going to Nashville, baby. If I would have told you even 2 or 3 years ago that Vanderbilt would be playing in the college football playoff, would you have believed me? Because I wouldn't have believed myself. This is insane. Not only are they playing in the college football playoff, they are a home team that got a bye. They are a top 10 team in the 2014 playoff. This is insane. I genuinely could not believe my eyes when I saw that Vanderbilt was going to be hosting a playoff game. But here we are. It all comes down to this. Clemson down 1 point, needing a field goal with 2:17 left and no timeouts. We've seen how the CPU manages these situations before. Let's see if they can maybe do any better. We're now at the 2-minute warning mark. Clemson has not made much progress at all. This is a little concerning. If you are a Clemson Tiger fan, you do cross the 40, clock will stop for a little bit, but you know this thing's going to tick down to 25 seconds because that's exactly what happens in this game. For an unknown reason, a CPU controlled team, when it is CPU versus CPU, English is not my first language, or it is, but I suck at it, cannot no huddle. It is the wildest thing. Klubnik. Oh, he's going to hit the whole shot, but it's broken up. Oh, my. How do you not hold on to that, man? Your college football playoff dreams are on the line, and you drop it? This is a disgrace. You are a disgrace to the name and the game of football. Check yourself at the door. Your scholarship's gone. Klubnik, what you got for us? What you got for us? He's throwing it short. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is not good. Hurry, let's go. Chop, chop. Andale, andale, andale. Oh, good throw. Good find. Good find. Okay. We actually might be in business here. We might be in business. Clemson might win this football game. They're close. Oh, we got a guy wide open in the slot. Hit him quick. Hit him. Yep. Okay. Go, 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 go. Remember, you don't have any timeouts, so you got to get one more play. Get one more play. They'll be okay as long as he doesn't take a sack here. Oh, that is a dangerous, dangerous throw. It's going to put them in a really weird spot for this field goal. Assuming that they actually take it now, like they usually do, and don't wait. We'll see if Vandy calls a timeout. But they're definitely going to kick it after the next one. Okay, so they're going to run one more play. I think they'll be okay. Oh, we're in really hairy territory now. They need an incompletion or a touchdown. There's a touchdown. Oh my gosh. I don't love how they handle it, but man, I'll tell you what, it does spike the heart rate a little bit. Whoa, doggy. We went down to the wire on that one. We're up to about 130 beats per minute. Good Lord. They really left no room for error on that one. It was either going to be touchdown or they were going to lose the ball game. But Clemson does it. They go on a drive, marching right down the field. Katie Klubnik shows us everything he's got. And they pull off the win. Technically an upset in terms of seed rating over Vanderbilt in their home This is unbelievable. This is what the college football playoff does. Gives us instant classics like this. Whew, doggy. Okay, we got Oregon A&M next. This one is in Eugene, so we will see you there. This one should be a lot of fun. Oregon welcoming in Texas A&M in a bout that I didn't think we'd ever see these two teams play each other. But again, this is what the college football playoff gives you, and it's on a home field. That is my absolute favorite thing about the college football playoff, is that we now have home games in round one. Should be in every single round up until the national championship game. But don't let me say that. Don't let me get in the way and my politics get in the way. Let's go to the fourth quarter and see what's going on with this one. This is insanity. This game's coming down to the wire. Oregon up 31-26 after staving off a Texas A&M interception. They get the ball back to run this game out. Dante Moore's going to take a shot down the field. He's got his receiver. That puts this game on ice. Oh my goodness. The balls on that young quarterback, although I don't think he's young anymore, to make that throw at this point in the game and to trust his receiver to come down with it. Are you kidding me? That is going to move them to the next round of the college football playoff. I cannot believe that he tried that throw. Oh my Lord, this game has been all over the place, back and forth and back and forth. And now, Oregon, with that throw, cements themselves in history, winning their first ever playoff game. Actually, it's not their first ever playoff game, but winning their first ever 2014 playoff game. What an unbelievable finish to this one. Oh my gosh, you'll write about this one and talk about this one for ages. We got one more game in the second round. That is Florida at Duke. So let us head to Durham, North Carolina to check that one out. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that these two teams have never played each other before. If I'm wrong, then I will... I didn't get that far. I'm sorry. I'm not wrong. So it doesn't matter. We don't even have to worry about it. But it is snowing in Durham. And I question whether or not Florida is going to be able to handle these elements. This is not quite playing Navy. A little special prep for that game. Also a little further north. I don't know. It's snowing. Florida's got to deal with it. Let's see if they can. That was one of the worst performances of all time from Duke. I mean, just consistent lack of effort on offense, on defense. I think Florida kicked 3 field goals. Like, you cannot allow a team to come into your place in elements that they do not play in and kick your butt, and Duke did. This is an embarrassing showing for the number 2 overall seed. And Florida's just going to keep running it down their throat. They do not care. They're going to embarrass you on your home field. And the stupid Blue Devil is dancing, acting like it's all hunky-dory, that his team and the organization that he represents is getting their shit rocked. Unacceptable. This is the worst 16-7 game I've ever seen in terms of disparity of on-the-field play. Unacceptable if you're Manny Diaz, head coach of the Duke Blue Devils. In fact, I would fire you. I don't care that you were the 2 seed. You lost. You were one and done in the playoff. Not going to work. Not going to work. Let's take a look. Now that this one is officially over, let's take a look back and see what the bracket looks like now that we're down to just 8 teams. And then there were 8. We have just 7 games left before we crown the 24-team playoff champion in college football 26 in the year 2025. And we've got some absolutely bonkers matchups in this round. Penn State, Indiana in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Alabama, BYU in the Fiesta Bowl. The winner of those 2 games will meet in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena with a spot in the national championship game on the line. Miami will take on Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. They're going to New Orleans. And then Oregon and Florida will clash in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. It was a tough draw for Oregon. They would have loved to get the Fiesta Bowl, but unfortunately for them, BYU is a bit better in terms of the seats, so they get first pick. They'll take that easy trip down to Arizona and have the home field advantage, I could imagine, over Alabama. The winner of Miami, Clemson, and Oregon, Florida will meet each other in the Orange Bowl. Again, if Miami is able to win that, they're playing in their home stadium. It doesn't get much more advantageous than that. And there would be a spot in the national championship game on the line in that one. We could have Miami, Florida in Hard Rock Stadium for a spot in the national championship. You don't get that with 4 teams. You get that with 24 teams. That's why the 24-team playoff can be so exciting. We've got the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. This is a Big Ten battle, but it is one that has so many higher stakes than we have ever seen before. Penn State and Indiana with a chance to go to the Rose Bowl. Are you serious right now? Indiana has never been to a Rose Bowl in their life. In fact, they've never made it this far in the playoff. But now they've got a shot to do the unthinkable, and they get to do it against Penn State. I'm leaning Penn State in this one. I think they're too good. Let us see where this game takes us. We have just hit the 2-minute warning in this one, and Penn State leads 20-10. And as you can see, Indiana has no more timeouts, which means this game is practically over. Both teams started out scoring on their first drive. In fact, it was Indiana that started with the ball, then marched right down the field and scored. Then Penn State came right back down, and then they kind of traded for a little bit of nothing. Then it was all Penn State in the second half. The third quarter was theirs. The fourth quarter, they just kind of sat on the ball, extended their lead by a touchdown. But it was really a dominant performance from them, and they're going to be playing in the Rose Bowl. Indiana just not good enough. Unfortunately for them, even though they did have that bye, it was not enough. We will go to game number 2 of the quarterfinals. Alabama BYU in the Fiesta Bowl. Congratulations to Penn State on making it to the Rose Bowl. When BYU beat James Madison, I said they were volunteering to go to slaughter against this Alabama team. They have dominated their first 2 rounds. Can BYU, which had a bye, they were a top 8 seed, pull off the unthinkable and beat Alabama to go to the Rose Bowl against Penn State? I don't think so, but I have been surprised by things in this simulation before, so we just have to go and see. This one was not pretty. Alabama dominated on the defensive side of the ball. BYU's only touchdown came off of a pick in Alabama's side of the field. This thing from the jump was just how I thought it would go. Alabama dominates for the 3rd straight game, and it sets up an all-time Brands game in the Rose Bowl. Penn State, Alabama. BYU's run comes to an end, kind of like how we thought it would. Nothing too surprising here. Okay, it's time to go to the other side of the bracket. We got Miami, Clemson in an ACC showdown, and then Oregon, Florida. 2 great games on tap. This is going to be a fun one. Miami and Clemson, both teams at the top of the ACC. Miami winning the conference this season. Coming back, Clemson trying to pull off what would be an upset by the standards of the seeding, but not so much an upset in terms of level of talent. Clemson, the higher overall than Miami. Obviously, none of that matters here today, though. It's who performs best on this football field here in New Orleans. We shall see. Let's get to the action. There was no defense in this one. Clemson, offensive juggernaut, puts up 41 points. I mean, we're talking about 23 first half points on Miami. Miami did their best offensively to stay in it, but when your defense is playing as bad as they are, it's just tough. It's tough to play in that track meet. It's not technically over yet, but we know how the CPU manages the clock here. They're going to run the ball anyway. This thing is as good as done, which means your Sugar Bowl champion is Clemson, but they're going to play in the Capital One Orange Bowl against one of Oregon or Florida. They get to avoid having Miami play in their home field in a bowl game of that stature in the semifinal. So Clemson, congratulations on making it to the semifinal game with a chance to go to the national championship game. Dabo, your job in real life may be on a knife's edge, but in this simulation, you are one step closer to a national championship. Let's go to Florida, Oregon to figure out who our last team in the semifinals is. One spot remains in the Final Four of the college football playoff. There were 24 teams at the start of this thing. Now there are 5. We have one spot to go, and it's between Oregon and Florida. Oregon, the favorite in this region. Florida, the underdog, going all the way back to their round 1 game against Navy. Yes, underdog to Navy. They have a chance to write their ticket to the semifinals with a win here today. Let's go to the fourth quarter to see what's going on. The 2-minute warning, and we've got ourselves an 8-point game. Florida really doesn't have much life left. But it's our closest game of the semifinals. You got to cross your fingers and hope that maybe they can pull off a miracle. Otherwise, it's going to be Ducks, Tigers. Okay, that was short-lived. This game is now officially over. It will be Ducks, Tigers in the Orange Bowl. That one is very disadvantageous for the Ducks, having to travel across the country when they could have been playing in the Rose Bowl, which is literally a, 200-mile drive south, if that. Very unfortunate for them, but they get the W. They are going to these semifinals. You can't ask for anything else if you're an Oregon Ducks fan. One step closer to their first ever national championship. And then there were 4. We have finally made it to the semifinals. Penn State, Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Man, it kind of feels like that Michigan-Alabama Rose Bowl game from 2023. It doesn't get better than this in terms of venue, brands, what is on the line. This is as high stakes as it gets. And then on the other side of the bracket, you have the new school type players. Penn State and Alabama, they've been there, they've done that. Clemson, more recently than the other two. Oregon has never been here. Never been here, never done that. I shouldn't say they've never been here. They did make a college football playoff when it was 4 teams. They've never won that coveted trophy that we see in the middle of the screen right there. They have a chance to do it. All they have to do is win 2 more games. And I don't want to pat my own back, but we are a Penn State win and an Oregon win away from me predicting the teams that would meet in the finals. I just want to put that out there. Say, I did a good job there. But I mean, this is kind of exactly how I thought it would play out, but it still is so fun to see it come to fruition like this. So without further ado, let's go to Pasadena to see Penn State, Alabama Cinema. It's the granddaddy of them all, the most iconic venue in college football and maybe in all of sports. The Rose Bowl, the stage for our semifinal bout between Penn State and Alabama. You look at these 2 uniform sets. You look at 100, 200 years of combined history is built into these uniforms, this game. And what is on the line is a spot in the national championship. It's going to be played in this stadium too, just as a warning. Sorry for the ASMR there. Let's go to the action, baby. Come on now. I hope you weren't expecting fireworks. I hope you're not a Penn State fan, because this was a low-scoring, grinded-out, grit and grimy finish in which Alabama and their hard-nosed style of play in their defense came out on top. And like we've seen so many times in the past 15, 20 seasons, Alabama is on top of the college football world, or at least nearly. They're playing for another national championship. And this is the problem with expanding the playoffs. Even at 12, teams like Alabama have so many opportunities to win and to continue to win. And then once they get in, can you stop them? Penn State was not lucky enough. Alabama said, we don't need your bye. We will beat everyone you put in our way on our way to the national championship. They have just one more game to accomplish that feat. And James Franklin loses another big game. Oh, man. You cannot write the narratives any better. Let us go to the other side of the country for the Orange Bowl. Oregon, Clemson. Let's do it. A bowl of oranges, baby. That's what we're playing for here today. And a spot in the national championship game, which is actually in this stadium. I lied when I said it was the Rose Bowl earlier. It's Hard Rock Stadium. We've got the Orange Bowl. Oregon, Clemson, Big Ten versus ACC to see who will play Alabama in the national championship game. Oregon desperately needs this. Clemson trying to do something that the real-life Tigers cannot do. Win a national championship in the decade of 2020s. I want to put that clarifier out there so I don't get yelled at. Let us go to the end of the game, I guess the fourth quarter, and see what's going on. 7-point ball game, minute 44 left in this game. Oregon just needs to run out the clock, but Clemson has all of their timeouts. And this has been a late scoring burst by the Tigers. It was 17-0 for most of this game. It is not over yet. 3rd and 2. If Clemson gets a stop here, they still have a chance to tie this ball game up and send it to overtime. Quick pass out. They rally. They get the tackle. Tigers defense does exactly what it needs to do. Now it's in the hands of Cade Klubnik and this Clemson offense. If you remember what happened just a couple of rounds ago, what this Clemson team was able to do against Vandy. They have another opportunity to cement themselves in the history books with a drive that ends in a touchdown right here. Can they do it? That's the question. It's not even... Is Klubnik hurt? Oh, man. Klubnik might be hurt. Yeah. Klubnik is out. It's Christopher Vizinha. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that was good first throw from him right there. Now it's 2nd and 5, and he's going to get this one out quick. That was a dangerous throw, but it worked. We finally have a no-huddle. I don't know what's going on. We finally have a no-huddle. I didn't even know that CPUs could do that. Where has this been the entire time? Oh, my gosh, this guy's dicing them up. And they get out of bounds. They're better off without Klubnik. Are we going to get Alabama Clemson part 3 or 4? How many times did they play? Feel like a lot. Good pass there. Oh, he's got room too. Down inside the 30. A minute left. They have just absolutely diced up this Ducks defense that's kept them in check most of the game. There you see a Tony the Tiger ripoff. Flexing his muscle. You're not the real Tony the Tiger. 53 seconds left. Man, they have no timeouts either. This is going to make it very interesting down to the wire. Vizinha. Oh, he gets it incomplete. Oh, what a ballsy throw over the middle. 44 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Ooh, this is what dreams are made of right here. This is how you create legends. The Ducks try to run man coverage, and Clemson has the answer. He does have 2 picks on the day. It certainly wouldn't seem like it with the way he's slinging the rock right now. They're not even going to no huddle, but they're going to spike the ball too. I've never seen this before. As you've seen from the litany of games that we've played earlier, I didn't know this was possible. Oh my gosh, Clemson has done it. Oh my gosh. The Clemson Tigers drove all the way down the field. They were down 17-0 with their backup quarterback. And they just diced this Oregon Ducks defense all the way down the field. What a massive, massive moment in college football history. Can the Ducks get into field goal range? They have all 3 timeouts. It really depends on how good this return can be. I am so in shock right now. What a game. What a game. And Oregon had the ball, and all they needed was one first down, maybe two, to really seal it. 29 seconds. You just got to take care of the ball at this point. I know with 3 timeouts you want to try, but I just don't think you can take that chance. Yeah, they're going to run it. They're going to run it out. We're going to go to overtime. Oh, my gosh. We're going to... This is insane. We're going to overtime. One more run. What if he broke this? Oh, that would have been insane. Can you imagine if he broke that? Nope, we're going to OT. Free football, everybody. I don't know how long this is going to take. Obviously, the overtime rules are right here. The 2-point off is the single stupidest thing in sports. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you're still around, I appreciate you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. While you're down there, hit the notification bell as well. I love you for doing that. It really helps support me. We're on the road to 2.5 million subscribers. We're only at 3,000 right now, so we got a little ways to go. But we can get there if you put your mind to it. Clemson's going to start with the ball first and 10. Listen, based off what we saw on that one drive, I feel pretty confident about their ability to put the ball in the end zone. And oh my God, I keep saying, oh my gosh, oh my God. But what is happening right now? The very first play of overtime, Vizinha throws an INT, and Oregon, all they need now is a field goal. I think that he just said, hey, I want to get you guys out of here. I just want to get you guys out of here. As long as Oregon doesn't throw a pick, because I feel like they're going to throw a pick. Do we need to put the ball in harm's way like that? Run the ball a couple of times, kick the field goal, go to the national championship game. And he throws a pick. Oh my gosh. What are we, Dante? What are we doing? There's gotta be something wrong in your brain to make that throw. Given the situation, all you needed to do was run the ball and kick the field goal. And then you make that throw. Oh my God. Oh my. What else am I supposed to say besides, oh my God? I don't know. Holy Jesus. Why does it have to be religious related? I'm not sure, but it does. It just comes out of my mouth like that. Makai, he was 25 carries. He's not big enough to have 25 carries. What? God, his wear and tear is probably beat red. A little RPO action. Get to the 5-yard line. I don't love the goal-to-go offense from the CPU, so I am a little bit worried about them being in this spot. Looks like they're going to pass it. Dante Moore's got all the time in the world. And he found a guy in the end zone. You got to go for 2 in the second overtime. That is the big difference between 1 and 2. Duck dancing. He's happy. I wouldn't dance too soon. Don't count your ducks before they hatch now, Mr. Duck. Because, yes, you scored, but your defense has been pretty hit or miss lately in this game. If they get the 2-point conversion, I feel pretty good about their ability to win this game. They're going to run it. And they get stuffed. Oh, man. That is probably going to be the difference between winning and losing this game. I don't hate the play call. I don't hate it. I just wish he would fight a little bit more to cross the plane. Okay. He's got 3 interceptions on the day. Can you take care of the ball, my guy? Please? Don't throw a pick here. That was actually a good read. Got you 3 yards. Hey, it's not a negative play. Keeps the drive alive. Remember, this is 4-down territory. You know exactly what you need. Underneath. Okay, listen, you can pick up a little bit more than 2, though. I wouldn't hate a run here. A run to get it to 4th and 2 is not a bad call. They're going to pass it anyway. And he's going to fire. That ball is incomplete. Okay, we're down to the last play of the game. Maybe. 1 play for the rest of your lives. I don't know what's going on at the bottom of the screen here with the Oregon defenders. Is this supposed to be some sort of mug blitz? Whatever it is, he's wide open. Throw it to him. What was that throw? Oh, my Lord. I just cannot believe the CPU's stupidity. What did I just say? Stupidity in this game. Yes, Oregon should have won it, but that was the dumbest throw of all time to finish this game. You had a guy open underneath who would have gotten the first down. Oh, that is so frustrating. Doesn't matter. We've got Oregon, Alabama, in the national championship game. We've got team that's won like 15 of them versus team that's won 0 of them. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool to me. Okay, I will see you there. How about it? Okay, cool. One more game to be etched in the storybooks. Oregon, Alabama, new school, old school, in Hard Rock Stadium. A little bit of an advantage for Alabama, I will not lie. I hate that Oregon has now had to play 2 games in the same stadium across the country. Doesn't feel very advantageous for them. However, it does not matter when your head coach is Dan Lanning. He simply does not care. And neither does his team. They are going to win this goddamn football game. I believe it to my bones. Let's see how right I am. 911, I'd like to report a massacre. Oregon is going to win their first ever national championship by dismantling a team that has had no trouble up until this point. 26-7. And I will let you in on a little secret. Alabama didn't score that touchdown until literally the drive before this one. Or maybe it was 2 drives before it. It took the 4th quarter to score a touchdown. This Oregon team has thoroughly massacred, pantsed. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe this game, use it. As long as it doesn't demean the Oregon Ducks. Because they deserve this. They have been through trial and tribulation. And finally, with a quarterback named Dante Moore, they have reached the mountaintop and are your 24-team college football playoff national champions. The best part about this, in my opinion, is that they were one of the best teams all year long. They were a top 8 team. They got the bye. They earned this. They didn't luck their way in by being team 24 or team 23. They earned this every step of the way. And it wasn't always pretty, but they got the job done. And at the end of the day, that is all that matters. Congratulations to the Oregon Ducks for being on top of the college football world. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.